Grace Community Church has several partnerships with people doing ministry on college campuses, here in the Detroit area and in other places around the country. Most of them are with an organization called Crew.
Crew is a campus ministry. It's a Great Commission ministry. Our heart and desire is to win believers to Jesus, build them up in their faith, and send them out for the rest of their lives when they graduate to continue sharing Jesus wherever God takes them.
We just really appreciate how Crew does ministry in terms of equipping students, like helping students know what they believe and why they believe it, and then giving us tools to know like how to share our faith and communicate that with other people. I mean, college really is just such a unique time of life where you're figuring out who you are and what you believe, and your faith and religion is part of that.
We are the next generation, so it's important for our generation to know about Jesus because they're going to be the ones that are going to be impacting the workplaces, whether they're working with children, whether they're working with older adults. We're going to be the ones in those spaces impacting people. So it's important that we know about the gospel so that it can then be preached in all the world.
So after they graduate, college students end up populating just about every part of society. They may go into ministry, whether it's overseas or stateside. They might go into all different types of jobs, both blue collar and white collar. They'll be leaders in many of those jobs. In reaching students now, we're really putting people around the world in different places where they're gonna both be leaders and representatives of Christ.
I would say when it comes to the faith, I feel like one of the most important stages is that young adult age, because one of the things I see is most of the kids, they've grown up in church or they heard about Jesus in one way or another, but staying rooted in God is where the challenge is.
Yes, people are very excited to hear about God. You would never guess the type of people that would be excited either. That's why it's so important to not judge a book by its cover, because a lot of the people that we have reached out to, especially at tabling or even in front of our doors before our meetings, you would never expect them to be so receptive to hear about the gospel or to hear about the Bible or to hear about God. So definitely, I think that's a misconception that college students aren't interested in the Lord, but they are very interested and they want to know so much about Him.
We are so surprised at how many students are very open to spiritual conversations. I think in the last 3 years that we've been here, we've had more openness from students than the 6 years of ministry prior that we've had. One story specifically from last fall, we did an outreach on one of our campuses, SUNY Old Westbury, and 100% of the students that we were speaking to said yes, they wanted to hear what the gospel message was.
There's a different spiritual openness that this generation is coming in with. Even people who have not grown up in Christian homes, who are atheists, who are just curious about the gospel and asking questions and really considering it instead of just writing it off.
My first semester at Old Westbury was very lonely, and I did feel like I didn't have like that community or that set of friends that truly understood the Bible the way that I understood the Bible and that truly wanted to follow the Lord the way that I wanted to follow the Lord. And so I definitely would say that Crew granted me a community and granted me a space where there's other young believers that also love the Lord and also want to see the gospel preached.
I think that's the main thing. Understanding that we're up against a time and a season that is trying to pull our young people away from Jesus. And that's been existing for a long period of time. But while that's been going on, there's also been an opposing battle of revival that has been coming.
More and more college students are finding Jesus. And they're finding Jesus in incredible numbers. And so as they find Jesus, they're going to find hope. And then they're going to tell their friends about that hope. And then they're going to tell their family about that hope. And at least my vision for it is to see those students continue to share the rest of the world that hope that they have in Christ.